Hi there, my name is Speight. I'm the DigiSkills Cymru project manager based with Adolwyn Cymru, Adult Learning Wales in Bangor, a project organised by Unison, the trade union funded by the Welsh Government, Wales Union Learning Fund. I'm also a member of the organisation and a member of the North West Wales Forum. I've been attended several meetings in Bethesda over the last year or so. What I'm going to set out today is based on discussions that I've been having over the last 6 months or so with Dafydd Rhys, with Ceri Lewis, with Tudur Evans and others within the organisation and outside the organisation, friends of the organisation, regarding the prospect, the idea of reinvigorating the democratic learning and the learning about democracy and the learning about current affairs and politics element that always formed the basis of workers' educational associations around Britain and elsewhere, right from the origins of the organisation. So, just my backstory. My family is from shipbuilding, coal mining family in northeast England. My great granddad was self-educated through the Workers' Educational Association by attending lectures and evening classes. Got a bookshelf full of his books from that time. That's still at my nana's flat in Sunderland, where I'm from. So I found this image online of an advert for a lecture, an evening lecture, back in the early part of the 20th century on international affairs organised by the Workers' Educational Association. And there's three words at the bottom there that I think are really important. It says come, listen and discuss. So it wasn't just a lecture, it was an opportunity for working men to come together to actually talk about politics, talk about international affairs and to educate one another and learn from one another. It was a forum for learning about how to be a democratic citizen, with learning something from an expert, from a professor from Oxford at its centre. So we've been talking about a programme that we could organise called the Democracy Programme, which would have at its centre the idea of developing the political literacies, the democratic habits of working people up and down Wales. All of the themes that you can see, or the subject areas that you can see on your screen are ideas that we've had in terms of what could be the content of a democracy programme, what people could talk about in terms of philosophy, the media, trade unions, economics, political theory, different themes in history, sociology, political systems, digital rights and digital active citizenship, working class history, human rights, but also elements of social design, hot topics, environmentalism, sustainability, the future of work. These kinds of topics that everyone has an interest in, and that we all need to know more about. There will be several different elements to this programme. At the core would be, I think, events to bring in new people, citizen debates and public lectures of the kind that were organised by the early Workers' Educational Association could form the core of this. We could also include in that opportunities for people to take part in arts, culture, for music performances, comedy performances, for authors to come and speak, for poets to come and speak as part of an event, any event that had a theme around maybe a public lecture, possibly. This then could bring people to some more formal courses and workshops around delivered by Adult Learning Wales. We've had a quick scout around the Agored database and found units that could be useful. This 3-credit level 1 unit on Welsh politics and political structures has some really interesting learning outcomes around understanding the ideologies of the parties in Wales, understanding how Wales is governed, understanding about voting and about political manifestos. This is something that I think is lacking in a lot of people in terms of their understanding of actually how the political system works, and to be effective citizens, to engage effectively in politics, in consultation, in the life of your community, to understand how that system works gives you power and gives you a greater ability to be effective as a citizen. We could also from this get more members involved and recruit members to Adult Learning Wales, have a greater degree of member participation and more effective campaigning for adult learning in Wales through having an increased membership who are more active and more knowledgeable. From this, we would hope that we would get several outcomes. We would have citizens who were more willing and able to take part in politics and participate in local services. We would have a better informed and more involved citizenry with a higher quality of public political debate. And that was one of the motivating things originally with this idea, was that in Britain at the moment it doesn't seem possible for people to have a high quality of political debate, particularly online, but also in other forums as well. We seem not to be able to talk to each other anymore, particularly post-referendum, and that's something that I personally find quite disturbing and disconcerting. Another outcome could be more involvement in the campaign for adult education, as I mentioned before, and beyond that, more learners taking part in Adult Learning Wales provision. So how might we go about this? If we had this all-encompassing programme, obviously it would require funding, and it would require different methods to be used. So there are lots of opportunities out there that we could link in with to make this this programme more relevant, particularly the community devolution agenda, which most local authorities in Wales at the minute are pursuing in terms of asset transfer down to town council level and even lower than that. There's an opportunity to link into some of the constitutional changes that may well result from the turbulence in the political system at the moment. There is the ability now, or the initiative now for through the public service boards for public service providers to invite the public to participate in how their local services are run. There's a big drive towards this, and we've made contact with some of the organisations, particularly the Commissioner for Future Generations office. They've got people based up here in Bangor who we've got contact with and made contact with already. There are initiatives around participatory budgeting. There are also examples of initiatives going on at the moment, such as the IndieCube Cymru shared working space in Porthmadog, which has taken over the library in Porthmadog and provided a kind of cooperative space where local freelancers, local self-employed people can hire a workspace and work there. There are also funding opportunities, particularly through the big lotteries, People and Places Fund, the European Social Fund, while it's still available to us, and the LEADER programme, which can fund exchanges. All of this can be based around themes of reskilling, of increasing people's digital skills, increasing the ability of citizens to contribute to policy making, to tackle ignorance, and for education for understanding governance. So all of this fits in a lot with the themes of the Future Generations Act. But also we've got the opportunity here to introduce more innovative methods of both creating this programme, of creating the public lectures, the arts and innovation events, the learning courses themselves, and for getting more people involved in the work and the campaigns of Adult Learning Wales through using things like human-centred design, which is a method that I've studied myself, and you can find out more about at designkit.org, and also some of the digital participation tools that are available online. Adult Learning Wales has experimented in the past with Vocalise. There are others out there as well, such as Lumio, which is one that I've experimented with, and I know that the Future Generations Commission's office as well have been looking at, as well as in terms of providing an online space where people can come together to create consensus, to debate issues, to experiment with ideas and get people's views on them in a respectful and kind of controlled manner. So overall, I think we have the potential and the history and the values in Adult Learning Wales to make this a reality, to drive more people into adult learning, to get more people involved, and also to have a big effect upon the quality of politics and the quality of political debate in particular that we have in communities up and down Wales and beyond. So diolch yn fawr iawn, thank you for listening to me. We'll be hopefully meeting about this over the next few weeks and months, and I, as an employee, but also as a member of the Adult Learning Wales organisation, I'm committed to delivering this as other colleagues are as well. So diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you very much. Goodbye.